You like the news for news. Hello, good afternoon. I am Siyokwo Kwakutre. Welcome to the news. The Ghana Police Service says one of the suspects in an alleged armed robbery in Tamale in the northern region has died. According to the police, 2 other victims lost their lives in the process at Kalariga, a suburb of Tamale. The police explained in a statement that 2 others, including one of the alleged robbery suspects and 1 other victim, sustained gunshot wounds. The statement further says the police are working around the clock to bring the perpetrators to justice. Armed robbers on Tuesday shot to death 2 persons, including a radio presenter in Tamale. The target appeared to be a mobile money vendor. To generate green, decent jobs for managing waste, the Ghana Circular Economy Center of Excellence project has been launched in Accra. The project seeks to bring together academia, civil society organizations and private sector actors to apply technology to address plastic pollution, waste management and promote efficient resource utilization according to stakeholders within the plastic value chain. The project, when implemented, will put the country back to track to achieve the 2030 agenda net zero emission by 2050.
Circular economy is a model of production and consumption which involves leasing, repairing and recycling existing materials or products for as long as possible to extend its lifespan. The transition to a circular economy provides opportunities to address plastic pollution and sustainable development challenges in innovative ways. Speaking at the launch, the Minister of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Kwekwe Friye, called for support for small and medium-sized enterprises within the country's plastic value chain to enable them to contribute their quota to the fight against plastic pollution.
This is in contrast to the linear model of production, consumption and disposal, which only ends up in waste that pollutes our land, our rivers, our oceans, our health and threatening our food security. I wish to stress the importance of all our people to get involved in the fight against plastic pollution in the country. Everyone has a role to play in this fight, and we must all contribute to the protection of our environment by thinking and acting circular at all times.
Canada's High Commissioner to Ghana, Madame Kathleen Shaba, said the effects of climate change on women and the youth are dire and stressed the need to find a lasting solution to it. The United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO, representative to Ghana and Liberia, Mr. Fakhruddin Azizi, proposed ways to curb the menace of plastic pollution.
Ghana is one of the fastest growing economies in Africa, particularly, but faced with the significant plastic pollution problem. To address this problem, the transition to a circular economy will help address the triple planetary crisis of climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. Adopting a circular economy will provide opportunities to address plastic pollution and sustainable development challenges in innovative ways. But this requires joint efforts by all stakeholders, including the private sector, informal sectors, civil society organizations, and public institutions.
The 2 projects, titled Establishing a Circular Economy Framework for Plastics in Ghana and Developing the Ghana Circular Economy Center, are funded by the Government of Canada and the Global Environmental Facility. They were launched by the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation in partnership with UNIDO and Global Affairs Canada.
The Northern Regional Security Council is in a crunch meeting following last night's armed robbery incident in Tamale, in which 3 persons were killed. 2 of the deceased persons were shot by the armed robbers, whilst the 3rd victim was lynched by a mob who suspected him of being one of the robbers. 2 persons were also injured in the process and are currently receiving treatment at the Tamale Teaching Hospital. Correspondent Mutala Isa joins us from Tamale on the telephone lines. Good afternoon, Mutala, and thank you so much for joining us on News Hour.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
Mutala, this is a disturbing development. Police indicated that one of the suspected robbers is dead and others are injured. Do you know the condition of the others who are injured?
So we were at the Tamale Teaching Hospital this morning, and the 2 persons who were brought there injured, one has been treated and discharged. He sustained a shot on his foot, that's a stray bullet. He told us that he was trying to run away where he had a gunshot, but unfortunately was hit in his calf. But he has been treated and discharged. The 2nd victim, who is responding to treatment, according to the PRO for the Tamale Teaching Hospital, he was mistaken for one of the suspected armed robbers and was attacked. The 3rd victim who died was actually riding with this person who is receiving treatment. The 3rd person died, but he is fortunate. The police came in to rescue him, and so he is receiving treatment at the Tamale Teaching Hospital.
So who has been discharged? I didn't get you clear. Who has been discharged?
So the person who sustained a stray bullet wound on his leg is the person who has been discharged. He has been treated and discharged. But there was an attempted lynching on one other individual, a headsman, I must say, in this community. They saw them. They were 2 riding at the same time that the robbery took place. And so they were mistaken for the suspect and attacked. One of them was killed, in addition to the 2 persons that were killed by the armed robbers. So this 2nd person who was riding with the lynched person is the one that is still at a teaching hospital receiving treatment.
Mutala, so has the deceased been identified?
So one of them is a radio presenter at Niesim FM. There's another person, a mobile money vendor, also a resident of Tamale. The 3rd person is a headsman living in this community called Kalarga. They deal in cattle, they rear cattle and sell. And so when this incident happened yesterday, they were returning, according to their relatives, they were returning from a village and passed through the robbery scene. Once the mob saw them, they saw that they were part of those who attacked and killed the mobile money vendor and radio presenter. And so pounced on them, bent their motorbike, and then killed these 3rd individuals.
So what is the reaction of residents in the area as of now?
It is in 2 folds. The header community is living in fear because some residents are asking that they go to the homes of these herdsmen and attack them and kill them because they suspect them of being behind the series of armed robberies that the community has recorded in recent times. So we met a few of them at the police station who had come there to report. And also, there are some who told us that they are living in fear because they are threatening to attack them. We've also had these concerns from security sources. But then also, the locals are also having issues with the police because they said it's become one too many in terms of armed robbery. Kalarga alone has recorded over 4 armed robberies over the last 3 months. Apart from what happened yesterday, I am told that last week there was another robbery incident. And these robberies have become one too many across the Tamale metropolis. From January to May this year, there have been over 10 carjackings, high-profile carjackings in the metropolis. And this has rattled the feathers of the Regional Security Council. And as I speak, they have just finished with the Red Sec meeting. They are still tight-lipped. They said they'll be briefing the media later. But I'm currently in the Kalarega community with the Northern Regional Minister and the Mayor of Tamale, who are going around the families of the deceased to commiserate with them and to assure them that they are coming up with strategies to deal with the state of insecurity within the metropolis.
All right, then, Mutala, that will be it for now, and we'll come back to you for updates. Governments and their counterparts in Niger are conducting an exercise to repatriate about 1,500 citizens of Niger who are ordinarily resident in Ghana and without any proper jobs. The exercise, which has already seen some 500 citizens returning this dawn, started 3 days ago. It is expected to last for a week. The Nigerian beggars include men, women, children, as well as the physically challenged varying ages. They were picked up from the Tete Kwashi interchange, Achimota, Kwame Nkrumah Circle, and the Kolebu traffic lights, among others. Upon arrival at the Achimota news station, they were taken through a health screening registration and then allocated tent while they wait for their turn to board a bus which will convey them to the airport for their journey back home. Food is provided for them while they wait to go through process. The exercise is supervised by the Ghana Immigration Service with help from the police and other agencies. Correspondent of Rewa Dako is at the Achimota news station to witness the repatriation, and she's on the phone for an update. Good afternoon, Rewa. Thank you so much for joining us on News Hour.
Good afternoon to you, Paul.
So, has another batch left for the airport aside that batch that left at dawn?
Okay, so since the repatriation exercise began after 3 days ago, only 5 buses have carried out 600 Nigerians to the airport. And this actually happened just this dawn at about 6 a.m. So as of now, the 5 have returned to the airport to pick up the second group of Nigerians, which presumably might be the last batch for the exercise. And I'm saying this because the remaining Nigerians here at the Achimota station may be a little over 400. So that's the situation.
So is this exercise happening in only Accra? Because there was a similar exercise in the Ashanti region, Kumasi specifically yesterday. So is it a general thing that is happening across the country, or only these 2 major cities of the country?
So from the information I gathered from the coordinators here in Accra, I was told that some of the Nigerians were picked up from the Ashanti region to the Accra region so that they could put some documentation and other processes together there. So I don't know what exercise actually happened in the Ashanti region, but from what they told, they take some of the Nigerians from something that the exercise.
So there were reports yesterday that some of the men abandoned the women, let's say their wives and children. So what is the current situation? Are the men also going through the same process as the women and the children?
Well, it's quite different here because the women and children are even though a appreciable number of the sources, they add up quarter of the women here. And you see, now, most of these people are mostly women, also see that. So, this is quite a small thing here. I'm not surprised. They might be true, because I thought yesterday, putting some sort of being aggressive, showing some forward behaviors. We're all brought under the security persons also, So I wouldn't be surprised if some of them would find a way to go back to today.
So please, can you please reposition yourself? We're having a terrible feedback. Can you reposition yourself so that we can continue to have a conversation?
Okay. Is it much better?
It's much better now.
Okay, so I was just right at the atmosphere with what you said, running away from the focus. Quite evident here. The women and children can see more of the men and children. So, widely, they are really up to the culture of the women. And I was trying to say that on our streets, because of these women, we keep up, the side. I'm not sure seeing a good number here. Number of women, so I'm seeing it. I'm not a part of that.
Oh, fine. Can you tell us, have you spoken to some of the officials, both from Ghana and Niger, if there is a package for these people back home in Niger?
Okay, concerning, I've been spoken to those from Ghana, but it's just the people who are working. I can't really tell the things that
Okay, we're still having that terrible feedback, so I'm afraid that will be it for now. So we'll get back to you later. The Ocean Day 2022 is under the theme Revitalization Collective Action for the Ocean. The day is to raise awareness about the impact of human activities on the oceans and create a united movement for the species of the ocean. The concept of the World Ocean Day was mooted during the Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, in 1992, but the day was declared in 2016. The executive director of the Environmental Protection Agency, Dr. Henry Kokofu, on the day asked Ghanaians to be mindful of how they wrap hot foods in light plastics due to health effects, as well as the environment damage when disposed of haphazardly.
Ghanaians must know the importance of oceans and how to protect and safeguard them. In the sub-region, we do have the Abidjan Convention that has member countries signed on to, and Ghana is part of that. This year's caption, as you asked, Revitalization Collective Action for the Ocean, it's been reckoned and realized that when it comes to ocean protection and safeguarding, it is not an individual person's or nation's affair. It's a collective effort. It's something that we all need to come together. And how do we